When the first notes of "Mama, I'm Coming Home" cut through the noise of Hollywood Boulevard, Ozzy Osbourne froze inside his black Mercedes. "Stop!" he shouted to his driver. "That's my song!" No one knew at that moment that the unexpected encounter between a small boy playing with a broken guitar on the street corner and the rock and roll legend would profoundly affect not only the child's life, but the legend himself. In the merciless summer heat of Los Angeles, 12-year-old Miguel Rodriguez positioned his small amplifier at a busy corner of Hollywood Boulevard. His old, scratch-covered red guitar gleamed in the sunlight, while great determination radiated from his small frame. For 3 months he had been coming here every Saturday, using the few dollars he earned to help support his family and finance his weekly music lessons. Since losing his father in a workplace accident 2 years ago, music had become not just a passion for him, but also an escape from his pain. As the melody of "Mama, I'm Coming Home" poured through Miguel's headphones, he completed his practice one last time. He removed his headphones, took a deep breath, and began to play, his fingers dancing across the guitar strings. When the first notes rose above the cacophony of the boulevard, several tourists stopped to listen. His technique wasn't perfect, but the passion and energy emanating from his small body was undeniable. With eyes closed, he seemed to think of his father with every note, calling out to his lost parent with every word of the song. Just then, a luxury Mercedes pulled up to the curb. Sitting in the back seat, Ozzy Osbourne had the window rolled all the way down and was listening to the melody coming from outside as if mesmerized. The boy playing his song with such emotion and sincerity had caught his attention. Each note stirred something inside the rock star who had gone from Birmingham to become a worldwide legend. After years of tours, studio recordings, and life in front of cameras, Ozzy had found the essence of his music, its pure form, in this street child's performance. "Park the car right there and wait," Ozzy told his driver. "Something inside tells me I need to meet that kid." With his long black leather jacket and grey hair flowing to his shoulders, he stepped out of the car. Behind his iconic sunglasses, he continued watching the boy, who was playing a piece of himself with such passion. As he slowly approached, several people in the tourist crowd recognized him and began whispering. Phones emerged, but no one interfered. Everyone sensed that a magical moment was about to begin. Miguel was still singing the final verse of the song with his eyes closed. "Mama, I'm coming home. I'm coming home." When the last notes hung in the air, applause broke out. As the boy opened his eyes, he noticed the man standing before him with sunglasses, long hair, and a leather jacket. At first, he thought it was just another tourist on Hollywood Boulevard. But when the man reached out his hand and said, "Very impressive, mate. I wrote this piece, but your playing took it to a whole different level." That voice, that accent, sent shivers through Miguel's entire body like an electric shock. Are you really Ozzy Osbourne?" Miguel stammered, so shocked he nearly dropped his guitar. Ozzy smiled, removing his sunglasses and leaning down so the boy could see him better. "Yes, that's me, mate. And you were playing my song. Quite well, too. Brilliantly, in fact." Miguel's lips trembled, his eyes filled with tears, and he was at a loss for words. Standing before him was his hero, the Prince of Darkness, the creator of the songs that had been his greatest comfort since his father died. The crowd quickly began to grow. People came running, raising their phones to record this unexpected encounter. "Is that really Ozzy? Yes, it's him! He's talking to the kid! You've got to share this!" But for Ozzy and Miguel, at that moment, the whole world was like a small bubble woven by the musical connection between them. "What's your name, kid?" Ozzy asked, examining Miguel's guitar. Miguel Rodriguez, sir." The boy still looked like he couldn't believe it, as if he might wake up any moment and realize it was all a dream. "Miguel, how old are you? And how long have you been playing guitar?" In a surprising move, Ozzy sat down next to the boy on the sidewalk, completely ignoring the crowd. One of the most iconic figures in rock history and an ordinary street kid were now sitting side by side. "I'm 12 years old, Mr. Osbourne. I've been playing guitar for 2 years. My father. After my father died, my uncle gave me this guitar. It's a bit old, but Miguel lovingly caressed his guitar, proud of it despite the scratches and warps. Ozzy nodded understandingly. You're playing amazingly for just 2 years, mate. When I was your age, I hadn't even picked up a guitar yet. But I understand you. Music is sometimes the only branch we can hold on to in life. Ozzy took the guitar from the boy and gently tuned it, then played a few chords. The guitar was old and cheap, but its sound was still beautiful. Look, Miguel, playing guitar isn't just about knowing the notes. You play with your heart, and you've got something in your heart. I can feel it. Maybe it's your father's memory. Tears appeared in Miguel's eyes. My father died in a workplace accident 2 years ago. My mother works 2 jobs. My siblings and I, we've been through tough times. Then I discovered your music, especially Mama, I'm Coming Home. When I listen to this song, I imagine my father coming back. The boy tried to control his emotions, but his voice cracked. Every time I play this song, I feel like my father is listening to me, as if somehow he'll come home. Ozzy's eyes filled with tears, too. This song, which he had written when Sharon was diagnosed with cancer and had sung thousands of times over the years, now took on a completely different meaning. Seeing how his own lyrics had deeply affected the life of a child he'd never met shook him to his core. He had performed in stadiums for years, filled albums, but only now, in the eyes of this boy sitting on a Hollywood sidewalk, did he truly see the real power of his music. Miguel, music changes lives. It changed my life. And now I see it's changed yours too. My songs are like my children, but you're giving them new life. As Ozzy spoke, he pulled something from his pocket, a black guitar pick bearing his signature. Take this. Play with this from now on. And remember, real musicians don't play with their equipment. They play with their hearts. Miguel took the pick with trembling hands, as if holding a sacred relic. The crowd around them had grown considerably. People were pushing each other, recording this extraordinary moment with their phones. Even a local television news crew had arrived and was setting up their camera. But for Ozzy and Miguel, this was still just a special moment, woven with music. You know, said Ozzy, I always made music to connect with people. But as the years go by, between tours, recordings, TV shows, I sometimes lose that connection. Today, you reminded me of it. Thank you. Then Ozzy suddenly stood up, turned to the crowd and shouted, This kid, Miguel Rodriguez, is a real talent. You'll hear his name in the future. Then he turned back to Miguel. Come on, let's do Mama, I'm Coming Home together. I'll sing, you play. What do you say? Miguel's eyes widened, his breath caught. Performing a duet with Ozzy Osbourne in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard? This couldn't be real, but it was. Miguel quickly nodded, trying to control his trembling hands. And then, something happened that no one expected. Miguel adjusted his tuning, took a deep breath, and began to play. The first notes excited the crowd, but when Ozzy's voice rose, time stopped on Hollywood Boulevard. The legendary rock star was singing his song with all his soul. Times have changed, and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. As Ozzy's voice echoed alongside the notes played by the street kid, tourists, shop owners, and even drivers in traffic stopped to watch this incredible performance. Miguel's playing had become deeper within the magic of this moment. It was as if Ozzy's presence had revealed a hidden talent in him. The crowd grew and grew. People were making calls on their phones, summoning their friends. Come quick! Ozzy Osbourne is singing Mama, I'm Coming Home with a street kid on Hollywood Boulevard. Tourist buses slowed down. People leaned out of windows. But the two figures at the center of the scene, the aging rock star and the young musician, were focused only on the music. When the song ended, the crowd applauded wildly. Many people were crying, captivated by the magic of this unexpected emotional moment. Ozzy gripped Miguel's shoulder and turned to the crowd. This young man is a future rock star. One day you'll be standing in line for tickets to his concerts. The crowd applauded even more enthusiastically, while tears streamed down Miguel's face. It was undoubtedly the most beautiful day of his life. In front of the cameras, Ozzy pulled out a business card from his wallet, his manager Billy Morrison's card. He wrote his own cell phone number on the back and handed it to Miguel. "Call me Monday morning. We need to talk about some things. Talent like yours shouldn't be lost on the streets." Miguel stared at the card in disbelief. "Thank you, Mr. Osbourne. This is the best day of my life." Ozzy smiled. "For me too, mate. I'm lucky to have fans like you who give such meaning to my music." 2 days later, on Monday morning, Miguel dialed the number with trembling hands. When Ozzy's voice came through the phone, the boy still couldn't believe it. The conversation was brief, but life-changing. Through his New Voices in Music Foundation, Ozzy arranged for Miguel to receive a professional guitar, a quality amplifier, and most importantly, a scholarship to one of the most prestigious music schools in Los Angeles. He also reached out to Miguel's mother, providing financial support so the boy could focus on music without having to play on the streets. "Talent shouldn't go to waste, mate," Ozzy had said on the phone. "When I was your age, I faced hardships too, but music saved me. Maybe one day you'll inspire someone else. That's how life works, like a chain of kindness." Miguel's mother wept when she heard about this opportunity given to her son. "If my husband were alive, he would be so proud," she said while thanking Ozzy. "My son is truly smiling for the first time since losing his father." 3 years later, at Ozzy's concert at the Forum in Los Angeles, there was a special guest in the front row, Miguel Rodriguez, now 15 years old. In the middle of the concert, Ozzy invited him on stage. "3 years ago on Hollywood Boulevard, I saw a kid playing Mama, I'm Coming Home. Now that kid is here, among us. I want to show you the power of music and kindness." Miguel stepped onto the stage with a professional Gibson Les Paul guitar. Together they played Mama, I'm Coming Home. But this time Miguel not only played guitar, but occasionally sang along with Ozzy. The 18,000-person arena gave them a standing ovation. That unexpected encounter that began on Hollywood Boulevard became a powerful reminder of how music can change lives, how two strangers can connect through a shared passion, and how a moment of kindness can have an impact that lasts forever. At the end of the concert, Ozzy spoke these words into the microphone. "Sometimes in the most unexpected moments, in the most unexpected places, we make the most meaningful connections in our lives. Music brings us together, gives us hope, and provides light even in the darkest times." Today, Miguel Rodriguez works in one of Los Angeles' most renowned music studios, writing his own songs and giving free guitar lessons to children. On his studio wall hangs a framed old photograph, a 12-year-old boy and rock legend Ozzy Osbourne, sitting side by side on Hollywood Boulevard, speaking the universal language of music. Beneath it is a simple note in Ozzy's handwriting. "Miguel, even in the darkest moments, music brings us home. Never give up on your dreams." Ozzy Osbourne, 2015. If this story touched you and you believe in how music can change lives, share this video. Because you never know, perhaps your share might open a new chapter in someone else's life, just like Ozzy did in Miguel's.